Very good evening. You're watching Free Press Journal live on YouTube and Twitter. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. At a time when the global race for artificial intelligence is intensifying, Microsoft has placed one of its biggest bets yet, and India is clearly at the heart of it. In a move that signals how rapidly the world's largest tech companies are shifting their focus, the US giant has announced a massive $23 billion AI investment with an unprecedented $17.5 billion for India alone. Yes, that's the kind of share we are talking about. It's a commitment that not only underscores India's growing strategic importance in the AI era, but also marks Microsoft's largest investment ever in Asia. What's driving this surge of confidence, and why is India suddenly becoming the world's AI powerhouse, as it were, with this sort of proportion that Microsoft has decided to devote to India alone? To decode the significance of this development, we are joined by Faisal Kawoosa, who's with me live right now. Welcome, Faisal. Thank you for joining us here on Free Press Journal. Is Faisal, you'll have to unmute. And I don't think I have the get. Is Faisal able to hear me? You have to unmute yourself. No, I'm not able to hear Faisal. His audio is showing mute. Yeah. So as I was just telling our viewers, let's fix Faisal's frame, please, if we can. I was just telling my viewers here that this is a momentous occasion for India as a country. I want to play out some of the sound bites here that I have uh, collected in terms of what some of the big names in business are thinking about this. In fact, let's also listen into the leadership of the BJP, why they feel this is important. Meanwhile, let me check if Faisal can hear me now.
Hello.
Yes. Are you able to
Yeah.
hear me, Faisal? You're able to
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Are you able? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. I'll just tell our viewers a little bit about you that you are leading you're a leading technology analyst per se, and you're also the founder and chief analyst of TechArc and a member of ESOMAR, which is European Society of Opinion and Market Research. Faisal has been closely tracking global tech trends and India's evolving role in the digital economy. He's just the right person to actually decode this entire investment, the Microsoft investment, for us. His insights will obviously help us understand what it means for us, what is in it for us, and what is in it for Microsoft. So, welcome, Faisal. Let's get started by
Thank you. Thank you,
understanding
Afrida.
uh, this big push, as it were, for India and how you are looking at it.
Okay. So see, I think AI is a bit different ball game than maybe manufacturing. Okay.
Mhm.
And in manufacturing, of course, China took the lead. But
Mhm.
China as an economy is still restricted and a very closed economy, and at times also unreliable. Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe it's a good strategy for any country to leverage China's manufacturing. But as regards AI and data centers and cloud computing, where it's not
Mhm.
just a transaction but a long-term commitment, I think that's where India has an edge.
Yeah. Now, at a time like this, when we are having this conversation, let's not forget that we just also shared news about how India is looking to indigenously build its own AI, Bharat Gen, which IIT Bombay has taken an initiative for. Is it purely coincidental, or is it more like the other global players have realized the untapped potential precisely at the same moment?
I think, yes, everyone feels and understands that AI is at the end of the day going to be, or maybe it has already become one of the important, digital um, elements, okay, of the future of economy. And
Mhm.
that's where probably, it's much more rational and, meaningful to have your
Mhm.
self-reliance as a country in AI than maybe in present time in hardware. So
Mhm.
I would say it's a very strategic thought that yes, we need to have indigenization of AI as well.
Mm-hmm. And both can coexist, is it? It doesn't have to be like, there is space for a lot of these AI infrastructure and, major players, tech players in this field.
Of course, see,
Hmm.
there is scope, and some of AI use cases are global, which will be where we have to participate in the global infrastructure that exists, and some
Yeah.
can be maybe very strategic to us, and in maybe some
Hmm.
strategic and core sectors where
Hmm.
you may not want a global involvement or global reliance.
Okay. So I want to ask you a very specific question here about, this investment of 17.5 billion that we are talking about in AI infrastructure. Now, what does it actually translate into? In terms of what happens then? Are we going to have a larger network, a greater penetration of usage of AI to the end consumer, so to speak? What does it translate into in the long run?
Sure. So see, there are two, I would say, dimensions to it. One is consumer AI, another is maybe enterprise AI. Third could be also, if you want to call it, the government AI or governance AI as a subset of enterprise AI. Now, consumer AI journey has already begun. I think ChatGPT moment was one of the path-breaking moments in this journey, and since then we have been seeing how others have followed, and how Indians, how all of us as consumers have started participating in AI and started using AI in our daily lives, at least for
Hmm.
professional use cases. And there are also some of the people who are using it for fun and yet experimenting it. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
that's one side, but the other side, which is enterprise AI, where things will eventually trickle down to us as end users. Okay, like if I talk of
Hmm. Hmm.
AI in healthcare, AI in education, AI in governance, AI in every other thing. That's where it will come through enterprises, and that's where I think we need to develop resources still, and that's where it becomes important that we have a lot of infrastructure right here in India. So I
Yeah.
see it from that perspective, a very significant milestone. Will
Hmm.
AI, will AI reach expand? Of course, it will expand. We are using it as end
Hmm.
users, but tomorrow we'll be using it for more meaningful use cases.
Yeah. Faisal, when we talk about this level of investment, there's a concern, and I'm just quoting people that I have read that uh, are we even ready for it? Is the groundwork even done for this sort of an investment? How would you respond?
So see, honestly, we have had data centers in the past also, and data centers are not something new to us. So I don't
Mhm.
think there's a question of are we ready. I think we are already ready. We are already catering to some of the data centers worldwide in India. From
Mhm.
manpower point of view, that's how the scenario has been always. we
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
we have abundance of people who have the basic requisites, and then of course they need to be skilled up, and that's what this investment
Mhm.
will also get into. So I wouldn't
Mhm.
say we
Mhm.
are not ready. We are ready. Yes,
Mhm.
are we ready for this mammoth scale? Maybe not, but I believe that in due course of time this will also overcome.
Yeah, and this whole commitment of 20 million Indians to be trained. So obviously, there might be an expectation immediately that this is going to lead to some amount of employment generation because you're going to train. Obviously, their employability increases in the tech world. Can we hope and expect a large scale job generation?
See, per se, large scale job generation is something that contradicts to the whole concept of AI. We are talking
Mhm.
of 10x,
Mhm.
20x productivity.
Mhm.
But yes,
Mhm.
there have always been shifts, like so
Mhm.
far we were not having any avenues of jobs in AI. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we were
Mhm.
having a lot of jobs in IT, ITES, some of them in
Yeah.
manufacturing. If I talk of, the entire digital landscape, now yes, there is another avenue opening up, which is AI. So this will also extend and widen the job horizon for
Hmm.
students and youth.
Yeah, let's hear out some leaders who have spoken out about this announcement by Microsoft. Here is Tejasvi Surya.
The future of the world is greatly going to be determined by the advances that we make in emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, in machine learning, and the new age computing that the world is seeing. The investments that have now been announced by companies like Microsoft and Google, amounting to billions of dollars in India, indicates two things. That these global companies believe that India today, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, is the new frontier for development and advancement in these areas of sciences. Second, that the human resource potential that India today has and the investment climate that the country is offering thanks to the Prime Minister's visionary policies are one of the best in the world, because these companies can virtually go anywhere. But the fact that they are making a choice to come to India is a big testament to the pro-business, pro-market, and forward-looking policies of the Modi government.
So what I want to understand then from you is that, of course, there's a bit of tom-tomming about it, that investment is coming to India. It is only a good thing. And we have created that climate. And there's going to be some credit taking by the government, the ruling party, that is understandable. But insofar as what I want to understand from you, given that what we just heard, is that this is what it is, right? It is a doubling down on India in terms of AI training. And like I said, 20 million Indians are to be trained in basic AI skills by 2030. There'll be updated target. The updated target, of course, represents a doubling of Microsoft's earlier AI training goal. The training to include students, developers, and working professionals. So it sounds like there's going to be a burst of these AI skill training across sectors. Uh, is that an overstatement, or that is how this should play out eventually?
No, that's right. Exactly. That's how it will play out. We should be
Mhm,
seeing a burst of training in AI, and it is very much required.
mhm,
Even how you write a prompt, it makes all the difference. So while it looks
mhm,
very
mhm,
easy to, okay, you just have to write some sentence and it will do. But then,
mhm.
it doesn't really work like that. Okay. Prompt engineering, by the way, is one of the, hot listed job skills right now, and highly paid
Mhm.
across. So yes, I
Yeah.
think that kind of training and handholding is very much required.
Mhm. So let's listen into some of the enthusiasts, optimists who are
Percentage
greatly
of
delighted
population
with this news. And one of
broke in
them is
scale.
Polo Hospital Chairman,
And everyone said,
um,
sir, you know how you
Sangeeta Reddy, Dr.
handpicked every
Sangeeta Reddy.
doctor, you know how quality is important. And he said, yes, but find a way. And in the depth of that thought process of projects and locations and cities and people, technology kept coming back. So about 22 years ago, we began a renewed journey to bring the best technology to hasten our scaling, but anchor our quality. And that's a little bit what I'm going to talk to you about.
So, there is optimism around some of these sectors where with this AI training, if that is the quantum we are talking about of 20 million people, AI trained, AI ready, uh, a number of sectors could benefit. Which among them would you highlight the most?
So see, I think we have been very advanced in, for instance, BFSI. We have our own infrastructure, DPI, to really be proud about. So I see that BFSI would be definitely one of the early beneficiaries of this thing. Then, yes, our maybe healthcare is another area where we would see it getting benefited. And
Mhm,
broadly, if you look at, so broader services sector is something which gets, in my opinion, gets the first advantage. Then it
mhm,
might trickle
mhm.
down to manufacturing and others. That's how I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So, Faisal, a couple of last questions. One, of course, is the concern around privacy and security, and that will always come up, right? The access to data. In fact, you have tremendous experience with digital advertising and brand safety, Abdul. So, how will these large AI infrastructures that we are planning to set up now influence, or rather impact, the concept of privacy and security?
So see, you're right. If we have to leverage this intelligence, so we have to feed it at the end of the day, and that means we have to be maybe more. We have to lower our guardrails as regards data and sharing of data and privacy. So yes, that of course is there. But so far, and how it looks like, I think all these models and all these chatbots, whatever has been developed, it doesn't really get into or sneak peek into, or it doesn't really expose any individual. That's how they have been taken care of. Yes, it does take maybe individuals' data at an aggregate level, but as regards individuality, I think that's where it takes care of. One of the things that is also happening parallelly is that there's a lot of on-device AI now picking up. So a lot of smartphones now already have come up with on-device AI. So there is a choice for users that they leverage AI without even sharing any data to any public or cloud infrastructure. So that's, I think, one more thing that will add to the confidence of users. But yes, if you have to leverage this intelligence, I think somewhere you will have to uh, you know uh, share more data and be open about it.
So one last question about what is in it for Microsoft. I mean, what are they hoping to achieve? Is there an agenda there as well, you feel?
So see, of course, India is one of the best, I would say, test beds for AI. Okay, why? Because we have such a wide demographic divide and diverse demographic
Yeah.
profile. So there are so many languages, and it's not just so many languages. There are millions of peoples for each language. Okay,
Yeah.
there is a different socio-economic profile. So all of this, makes sense for really something like AI to leverage. So if you look at, like, okay, what are the next markets? So India is, of course, one of the biggest markets in that way, biggest opportunities for AI. And then looking at, you have to really diversify beyond, say, US. And that's how I believe the US president is also looking at technology, that he wants to create a tech which is only exclusive for US, and then tech for the world. Now, when tech for the world, where do then companies like Microsoft go for? Because, as I said initially also, you can't rely on China, because China can tomorrow just shut the gate and throw you out. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
but India is not like that. So that's where you have an advantage, that be in India, you can leverage the local big opportunity as with domestic big opportunity, as well as go for the markets around.
So it is a win-win. Let's hope it is a win-win, at least in that sense. Thank you so much, Faisal Kawoosa, for joining us, sharing your insights on the topic.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Well, with that, viewers, this is an important topic, and we try to give you expert view on what to expect, how this plays out. I'm going to leave you with this press briefing, so to speak, from Microsoft, and how they are
Distinguished
looking at
gathering
this play
of
out in
Indian
India.
dignitaries, customers, and our partners. Your presence here reflects a shared commitment to shaping India's AI-powered future. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few key highlights. You heard Satya Nadella speak about Microsoft's vision for an AI-powered future and how governments can use AI to really deliver citizen-scale services at impact and at the same time ensure it's a matter of inclusive growth. Puneet Chandok spoke about what it takes to build a frontier organization powered by AI. And Rajiv Kumar brought it to life with real-life customer showcases from Dr. Sangeeta Reddy of Apollo Group and Ms. Anjali Rawat from the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Our entire Microsoft team is here to build on some of these discussions as it relates to your environment. We're going to now break for lunch. Lunch is being served just outside of this hall. Post that, we've got roundtables, and I encourage you to participate in them. These are roundtables that are chaired by Microsoft leaders from Microsoft Research and Microsoft Engineering, and we really look forward to having a meaningful discussion with all of you. With that, I want to thank you once again for joining us, and I think that's a great opportunity for all of us to build an AI-powered future for